Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Greg. Hopefully you guys are doing well. I just, wanted to do a really brief update about some of the tech that I use, and more importantly, the stuff that I didn't think I was going to use as much, but it's just as important as the AirPod Maxes and things that I previously reviewed. I was going through my tech pouch by Peak Design, and I realized there's so many products that I use even more than the stuff that you've seen in previous videos from me. And I wanted to highlight those because they make sure that I get a lot of the things that I get done. So let's start with number one. The Apple Pencil for me is probably number one on my list. I have a really bad habit of leaving Post-it notes everywhere, writing on different surfaces and things like that. And the Apple Pencil, since I've been using it for the past 2 years, didn't realize until recently how much it helps with doing things like scripts and, more importantly, just writing with my iPad. It gives me the ability to stop using so many notepads in different places, and the Apple Pencil is number one on my list of technology that I just use so much, and it kind of gets glossed over in the grand scheme of the things that I like to use when it comes to tech. Secondly, there's the Dgi Pocket Two. Now, this I just recently received, and I didn't realize that I was going to use it as much as I do. I'm still getting familiar with, using this versus my ZV-1, which I'm currently on. The difference between the ZV-1 and this is my actual viewfinder. I haven't honed in completely on how to actually look at my Dgi Pocket 2, but I'm getting used to it, and the more I get used to it, the more I like it. So it becomes a thing that it's in my everyday bag, it's in my everyday carry, and I find myself taking more videos and more photos as a result of using the Dgi Pocket 2. Next on this list is a absolutely wild one. It's actually a tripod. Now, I did a previous review about the Ulanzi, and I do love my Ulanzi. I carry it in the places I can carry it at, but sometimes you just need a pocket, tripod that you can throw in your backpack. It fits in your backpack and it just works. So I have one of two that I use, which are obviously from Manfrotto. Now, Manfrotto, these are two different completely things that came with. I think this one came with my Zoom. So this came with my Zoom H6. So I've been using this one for years, and I just recently received this in my Sennheiser MKE 400 Creators Kit. And they're both pretty much exactly the same. One is black, one is blue and gray. I use this one specifically for all of my podcast setup. So my podcast setup requires me to have the interface sitting at an angle, so I don't have to look down at my desk in order to hit the soundboards and things like that. So this one is what I use that for. This one, however, I've been using with the Sennheiser MKE 400. I also use it for photography when I'm at work. Even if I wanted to do a video like this, I can prop it up on a desk and it works. I like the fact that right here they have this ball head that rotates, and you have the button that will allow you to do it. I have seen other ones from Manfrotto that have a little cutout right here, so you can actually angle it a little bit further down, which is great if you're doing FaceTime calls or Zooms and things like that. Love that for this. Next, you have to have a power brick wherever you go, and for me personally, that's what I use daily. I usually carry one in my bag because I always find myself in a situation where if I leave it in the office and I forget it, I don't have it at home. So I always have one in either location, but I always keep one in my bag. My current rotation right now are between the Hyper Juice, which is this one right here. It has 4 ports, 2 USB-C, 2 USB-A, and I changed this to be a USB-C as well. It's a little bit slower charging, but I like the fact that I can use this. It can charge my MacBook, it can charge my iPhone, iPad, and all of my other devices. But I just like the fact that it's portable, it feels light in the hand, and I can just throw it in my bag and go. Another, alternative to the Hyper Juice is this Anker one. Basically, it's the same thing. This is made by Anker. 2 USB-A, 2 USB-C. And this one's a little bit chunkier, a little bit heavier, but I usually alternate between the two. If I can't pick up one in the morning, I pick up this. This one, you would think it would have an internal battery so you can charge wirelessly. They had battery packs before that did that by Anker, but it only had one USB-A. So hopefully Anker in their next iteration, they make this version right here have internal battery, maybe 10,000 milliamp. But these two right here are two great battery packs to carry with you in your bag. Next on my list is this. Now, you would say, this is a dongle, blah, blah, blah. Who needs dongles? We already have enough. Hear me out. So this is Anker's Power Expand Direct 6-in-1 USB-C PD Media Hub. Now, this right here is what I use with my iPad when I only carry that. So if I'm at work, I usually carry this because I like to transfer my photos and things like that. Now, I also have a Satechi, but that is momentarily just connected to my MacBook because I use it for my MacBook more because there's less ports on my MacBook Pro. But this right here has so many ports that work with your iPad, and it's fantastic. It has the HDMI port, it has a USB-C port right here, USB-A, it has 2 ports for both micro and regular SD cards, as well as a headphone jack, which the iPad Pro doesn't have. This makes it so easy for me to, when I'm out and about, if I need to transfer speeds, I can take my iPad Pro, boom, do that. And not only can I charge my iPad, I can do any other things with extra peripherals. That is key for me. Next on this list, again, when we're talking about dongles, we have to talk about dongles for the MacBook Pro. And this one right here is the Power Expand Direct 7-in-2 USB-C Media Hub by, again, Anker. Now, I trust in Anker, I trust in a lot of other third parties, but for me, I've had this for a while. It has the HDMI port on the side, which is big for me because half of the time that I actually have my MacBook connected to my computer, I have it connected from the side and not straight up. So it's easier to have the HDMI port here. It also has all of the things that you would need, similar to the one that they have for the iPad, but they have 2 USB-A, they have the actual power, so you can connect your USB-C cable directly here and it will charge your MacBook as well. Most devices don't have that, they just give you the one additional USB-C and it doesn't charge. It doesn't charge as fast as you would want. And number 2, when it comes to it, what happens if you're charging your device, but you need to also sync and transfer things with the iPad? This will allow you to do that. So this is another great thing on the list that I know for a fact that I love using. It stays in my bag every day. The Loom Cube Panel Go. Now, someone would say, what is that? This is a LED light that I use for when I'm recording with the ZV-1 or any other camera that I have. I've seen people use RGB lights. I haven't gotten into that quite yet, but for me, when it comes to proper lighting, I don't have it in my current apartment. As you can see, I'm probably a little bit blown out because we have the window right here, but this Loom Cube Go, it has 9 watts of battery. It has a 2000 milliamp battery internal, so it'll last you for the amount of time that you're actually going to have to end up recording. If you're out in the field, if you're recording at night, it's a really bright camera, and I keep this with me everywhere I go because I never know what circumstance I'm going to be in. Next up, which this one, it's not really tech, it's just more so a cable, and I didn't realize how much I needed it until I needed it, which is a Thunderbolt 3 cable. So this is, again, Anker's Thunderbolt 3 cable. The Thunderbolt 3 cable, when I went out of town, luckily I had this in my bag because I have a monitor when we go to the beach house. And when we go to the beach house, I usually forget something. And this time I didn't have the Thunderbolt 3 cable, but I ended up ordering it from Amazon. So this one, I was able to not only connect all of my devices, through like the pluggable dock that I have. I had a Thunderbolt 3 cable which allowed faster transfer speeds. So I would implore people to, if you don't want to connect your devices through USB-C to USB-C, you have to get yourself a Thunderbolt 3. Next on this list, crazy enough, it's something that it's not in my everyday carry. It's not something that I need, but for me, it works. It does things that I need for my desk setup at home and even in the office. So I have 2, one at home, one in the office. It's amazing. When I don't have my iPad Pro connected to that keyboard, I have it in this, which is Satechi's iPad or whatever tablet dock. The beautiful thing about this is the fact that this Satechi dock itself, you can put little things right here. It doesn't wirelessly charge at all, but this right here will just sit your iPad up and you can prop it and go into different angles. So if I need to, if I'm at my desk and I just want to view a video from an angle, I can view it that way. If I want to view it from this way, I can do the same thing. And what's beautiful about it also is the fact that you can fold it right on up and go. I love this thing. I tell people if they're looking for a tripod or a way to stand up their iPad, this is it. It has nice little grips at the bottom so it won't slide on your desk and things like that. I don't see this enough in a lot of people's desk setups, and I should. And the reason why is it's just a good device, man. Please, like, get this. Next on my list, I kept saying, you know, external battery packs when I was talking about the Anchor and the Hyperjuice. This right here I've had for years. This is Nomad's power pack, and it also has tile tracking inside of it. Now, someone would say, why do you need tile tracking into it? Especially if you have like the air tags or something like that. Air tags are great, don't get me wrong, I love them, but they're not as inconspicuous as a battery pack. One scenario that I can give you, if you're out and about, you go to a museum or something like that, and you drop your backpack and somebody comes and swipes it. Someone would look in your backpack, they would see this as a battery pack and they would leave it there, because who's thinking that it has actual like tracking in it? Outside of the fact that it says trackable battery here, if you use Tile, again, not sponsored by them, this will allow you to actually track it with the Tile app. Now, it's not as accurate as the air tags. Trust me, I've used Tiles in the past, and I still use them on certain devices. But when it came to this right here, it is vital in my bag. I don't go anywhere without this Nomad battery pack. It has 9,000 milliamps. It's pretty big, and this came out what, 4 or 5 years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. It's bulky, like I said, but it does come with USB-A and it comes with USB-C. That makes it, for me, a must-have for anybody. Has LED lights on the front to let you know that it's fully charged or not. As you can see, mine is. It's probably one of my favorite battery packs, not only for the charge, not only for the USB-C, but for the fact that it has tile tracking. Now, next to my list, we're almost done here, is this MOF MagSafe or magnetic wallet. When I have my iPhone, I usually never carry anything on it, like, you know, other wallets and stuff like that. I think they're too bulky, they just look hideous. But this MOF battery, like this MOF MagSafe thing, is just fantastic, man. The reason why is it has this trifold, like origami style thing where you can still slide cards in here and still have it at an angle. Would I wish it was flatter? No, because when you actually lay your phone down, that's the angle that you want it in. You don't want it sitting this way, you don't want it sitting another way. Like, once you put your phone on it, it automatically goes flat, and I love that. I love this for this thing. It's probably one of my more used like iPhone accessories, because you never realize a circumstance where you're in, you just want to watch a YouTube clip, you want to watch me, you want to watch MKBHD, Justine, somebody else, and the issue is you have to prop it up on something. You have to prop it on a book, you have to prop it on a keyboard or something like that. If you just have this attached to the back of your iPhone 12, it's just there. Now, they do have models that have like an adhesive for people who don't have MagSafe, and they work just as good. But if you are an iPhone 12 person, this should be like one of the 10 things that you have for your iPhone, which is a magnetic or MagSafe wallet that will allow you to do that. It eliminates the need for things like pop sockets, because I mean, if you still use a pop socket, that's on you, and you know, that's no shade. I'm just pretty much a proponent of being able to say, you know what, I don't want to have the pop socket, I don't want to have that extra crap on the back of my phone. Let me take this, boom, when I'm done with it, boom, just put it there, and it's useful. Finally, this one, didn't think I was going to use this as much, but you'd be surprised. When I'm out in the field and I have my iPhone or any other device, this I didn't really think I was going to ever use, and it is the Joby Bluetooth shutter button. Hear me out. When I have my ZV-1, yes, I can connect it and do things like that. But when I have my iPhone and I want to get some extra shots or something like that for B-roll or something, I can go and use this Bluetooth shutter to get that with it being in a completely different area, and it's fine. I've been trying to find something like that for the ZV-1, but I'm not paying the $100 for the actual, like the handheld thing that they have. I'm not doing that. I wouldn't personally, because it's just a little bit too expensive for me. This Bluetooth shutter comes with most of Joby's tripods anyway. I don't use their tripods anymore because I've found my favorite. You can look at the videos later, but this Joby Bluetooth shutter, it works. And the beautiful thing about it is the battery life on this has not died, and I've had it for maybe 3 years. I had it for 3 years, battery life has never died, and it's great for family shots. When we go out of town, we always have our, family photo. And all I have to do is attach my phone to a tripod, put it across the room, and then we all get together, we take our lobster roll photos, and all I have to do is press this with a single button, and it goes perfectly. I know, this is a lengthy video, my apologies. I just wanted to actually showcase the products that we don't normally just talk about on YouTube, the things that actually help us get things done. Everything from, you know, the Moth case, the little MagSafe thing, the Bluetooth shutter button by Joby, the Satechi iPad stand, things like that that make your life useful and more convenient, things that I like. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, if you like this video, I need you to feel free to obviously like the video with a thumbs up. Comment down below, like, what are some products that make things better for you on a day-to-day basis? And most importantly, if you could please hit that subscribe button, I would greatly appreciate it. This has been Greg. You know, I just been chasing the cool. Hopefully you have as well. So until the next video, we'll see you.